Not so long ago, I ended up going outside and I realized something very disgusting. The people around me were happy, they were smiling, talking to each other, which means there's still joy that exists in this world, which is something that's just completely unacceptable to me, the bearer of misery. So, I must do my duty to spread hatred, and I am going to do that by talking about something very scary. Something that a lot of people fear and keep them up at night. Now, most of the time when you hear people talk about fear on the internet, they'll usually bring up some useless childhood fear that most people don't even need to deal with anymore. Unrealistic stuff like being scared of an alien invasion, an attractive woman. Well, I'm here not to do that. I'm here to talk about grown-up fears, stuff that big boys and big girls have to deal with. Things like the fact that if you're in Gen Z or Gen Alpha, you're going to need to live with the fact that you're probably not going to be able to own anything your whole life. And also attractive women. But one big fear that a lot of people don't like to bring up because they're too scared to, the fear of medical emergencies. Also, this video is completely filler because the one that I was actually planning to release this week got delayed, so enjoyed this one instead. But you didn't hear that from me though. When I'm talking about medical emergencies, I'm bringing up things that you can't simply fix by just staying home and doing the usual things like drinking chicken noodle soup or jacking off. Stuff that you actually have to go to the doctor to fix. Just want to get that out of the way before we start. So let's start at the beginning. The worst feeling that anyone can go through is knowing that you're becoming sick. This is something that you can feel a couple of days before because you know something just doesn't feel right. But when most people are in this situation, they automatically go in denial, saying that you're going to be okay, it's not really that much of a big deal, and all I have to do is not go to work or school and just relax for a couple hours and I'll be fine. But it doesn't go away. The pain, the fever, the thing wrong with you, it's still there. And you're trapped accepting the fact, do I have to go to the doctor? Now, the answer to this question heavily depends on where you live. Since most people watching this video are probably going to come from these three countries, one of you have the luxury of actually having good healthcare, the other one is questionable, and one is just flat out garbage. So you're probably going to be trying your hardest to stall going to the doctor by going on Google and searching up what's wrong with you, thinking to yourself that maybe I'm overreacting and it's not really that much of a big deal. I can be quite a panicker sometimes. This is a very bad idea. Because Google is iconic for giving you some of the worst answers of all time, especially now since they have their terrible AI slop baked in. You can just have a basic cold, something that's not really that much of a big deal, and Google's going to tell you that, oh, it looks like you're suffering from cancer, and also your heart is going to explode right now. So days pass, you still feel horrible, and you just accept the fact that you need to go and see a doctor. Going inside, actually having to deal with being in the doctor is one of the most stressful experiences because you have to sit there as multiple tests are done with you and you're basically just hyper focusing, staring at the doctor's face expression as they're talking to you or doing their things, waiting for them to just make any type of reaction. Because I'm pretty sure all of us had that experience once. Actually, I'm pretty sure a lot of us haven't. I just wish someone out there probably had this experience too, which I know someone has, where you're sitting down, you're getting your blood work or something, and the doctor is looking at the results, and they automatically make a face like this. And when this happened, the first thing that comes to my head is, yep, I'm going to die. It also doesn't help that I'm pretty sure these doctors are trained to give you the answer in the most nonchalant way ever. They will full on look at you with a straight face and be like, sir, in 3 minutes, your lungs is going to explode. And they will just say that with no reaction. And sometimes they just straight up walk away when they're done. And I'm just supposed to accept that fact. Crazy. I've witnessed a lot of medical emergencies in my life. Because for some weird reason, the universe has decided that when people want to decide to have something like a heart attack or just something terrible happening to them, they have to do it around me. These events will usually be funny because people will only have two reactions to these things happening to them. One, is the normal reaction, which is them panicking, screaming for help, being like a normal human being because something horrifying is happening to you. Or the second option, they just full on have an NPC reaction, where to basically summarize it, they give off the energy of someone saying, "Chat, am I cooked?" Obviously, they're not saying that directly, but that's basically their only reaction. I'll never forget this time where one time when I was outside, I full on see a girl vomit blood all over the place, and I mean a concerning amount. And she looks at her friends and go like, should I be concerned? But I think the scariest part about anything like this is the fact that no matter how prepared or healthy you are, some part of your body can just randomly decide to fail. Like, it's crazy that you can be sitting down, everything in your body's working perfectly, all your organs are working together, the cells are happy, and then suddenly out of nowhere your gallbladder just randomly wants to become a bioterrorist and just blows up. And that's just very horrifying to think about, because most of the time when someone gets a disease, they usually see it coming. Like, it rather runs in their family, or they kind of know deep down that, yeah, I feel like this is going to happen to me. But some other times, it don't matter. You could be walking and your lungs are like, I feel like collapsing right now. I just been working for a little bit too long. 20 years of consistent breathing since you were a baby. I need to retire early. And then one of them folds in themselves. Anyway, that's it. This is a filler video. No outro, goodbye. The next video will actually be good, I promise you.